Alright, let's do a quick stop to see how everything's holding up. Tires are fine. Lights are still on. Well, clearly the one flasher still works. It's not on the four-ways, so it's good. I still haven't hooked up all my clearance on top. The one in the corner, sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off. Whatever. I don't know why we get dirt there. Anyway, I have to come clean on one more shenanigan that I did. I realized last night that if I'm going in the bush, driving on dirt, there's a bridge over there, that's why there's pavement, but driving in the dirt for like about 3 hours, I was gonna just splatter rocks and gravel and destroy the whole front aluminum skin on the trailer. So I just went over the pile of garbage we had in the back of the shop and whipped out some sort of a rock guard, just some rail that I took some old car carpet that are rubber. They're the size of a mud flap, but I had to cut a nice little hole for the exhaust or else it would be melting. It's quite hot, but it's not melting. Of course, I measured the whole thing when there was no load on the Jeep, and now they're touching on the ground. Hey, whatever. Some redneckeries. It's working fine though, look at that. You can clearly see some mud on the side, but that comes from the fact that tires, the mud, what do you call these mud flaps are not big enough, just right there. So you get a little dirt flying off here. But the bottom part seems to be pretty good, so redneck stuff, thumbs up, it works. All right, let's keep going, because as you can tell, maybe it's Canada, it's 4 o'clock, it's gonna be dark in half an hour, and I'd like to set up camp. I still have an hour drive, so we have to get there before it gets too late. Let's head back on the road. This is where we're heading. All right, so we're parked. Let's show you the lake before it's way too dark, even though I think it already is, but let's see what we can find. Well, sometimes doing a bunch of shenanigans, that kind of pays off nicely, ain't it? Now is probably the perfect time to address the reason why I'm building a tiny travel trailer to come in camping up north, as opposed to other kinds of setup. I mean, we all love to watch these Australian overlanders with their amazing rooftop tent setup with the back of the Jeep that opens, and they have a whole kitchenette in the back, and they sleep on the roof of the car and everything. I'm in Quebec. In Quebec, it rains, especially in the fall. It rains a lot. Today's been raining for like 3 hours since the break of dawn. It's gonna rain all day, probably all night too. And imagine you gotta spend a whole freaking day in a 3-foot tall tent on top of your Jeep. Every time you want to cook, you gotta climb down the ladder, go to the back, open the ladder. You're getting rained on. I mean, you can't tell right now, but it's 1 degree above freezing. It's 1 degree above freezing. It's really not pleasant. It's humid. I have my rain jacket on. So the idea of having a tiny little trailer makes awesome sense for my setup. If you live in the southern states, this is ridiculous to you, but to me, this is an awesome setup. Also because I usually come here at this very spot in December-ish. Usually I come in December. This year I came a little earlier. And often there's like 2 feet of snow here. So you definitely would want to have a stove. I've been here before. It was 20 degree below freezing in my tiny tent with that exact stove that's in there. And it was just barely acceptable. But right now, check this out. You got the stove pumping. You can't tell, but it's really nice and warm. I got myself some cookies, warm beverage, some good books. The fireplace is going. Well, now the smoke's gonna come out, but get the fire going. This view on the lake. This is like cottage life. And guess what? It's dry. I can stand up. I can lounge in my pajama all day if I want to, because it's raining. This is super comfy. Even if there was 2 feet of snow outside, this would be amazingly comfy. I mean, can you imagine you're on a rooftop tent right now for a full day of rain? Damn. Anyway. Oh yeah, that's just drying my timber here because the rain outside. And that's gonna be it. So rain check today. We're gonna be reading, drinking some warm beverage, tea, and some cookies. And actually, I'm taking notes on everything that needs to be reorganized in this place. Let you know in a bit. I don't know if you can see, but the head fell off, so it's been dead for a while. So that's gonna be nice and dry, even though if it's raining. Well, the outside might be wet, but the inside's gonna be dry. So, you know, just you cut it to length, split it in half, and then the center is gonna be nice and dry and easy to burn. Especially it's softwood, balsam fir. Really easy to, actually it burns way too fast, but that's what we have out here. Man, I love, listen to this. Too bad you can't smell it. It's such an intense wet forest smell. I love the smell of the moss in the wet, rainy forest. All right, enough of that. Let's cut that tree down. That was a fail. So, how many days you guys think I can last with that much wood? It's supposed to snow not tomorrow, the day after. Man, it's already dark out and it's like 4 o'clock. November in Canada. November in Quebec. Let's see the sunset. Good morning, campers. Raining again today. Oh well. I don't know how long that's gonna last, so off to work we go. I guess you can never escape the rat race. You can only choose how much time you're gonna spend in traffic. Yep. I'll let you guess how long I'm gonna be in traffic today. All right, so let's do a little quick pit stop here. It's an area where I think the government pulls the illegally parked trailers in the area. It says that you were parked on the government property and that you have 7 months to remove the trailer, and then they pull it. These things are quite junk actually, so I think they've just been abandoned. Some of them are completely destroyed by the snow, so I wouldn't be surprised if people just have a legal spot and they don't want to bring the wreck in town, so they just drop it somewhere else to get rid of them. But really what I'm going to do is I want to look for side markers. I'd be really lucky if there was some sort of round side marker on one of those trailers, because I need some for mine. They're garbage, right? It's not stealing if the government confiscated them from someone who stole them from someone else, I guess. Anyway, this one's funny though. Look, there's kind of like a little ladder integrated in the thing, but I don't see how you can actually climb on that because it's really like tight. I have no idea what that is, if it was put in afterward, which is a possibility. But you see what I meant by like a little trailer up north? People build little roofs on them so you can not get crushed by the snow, but it still happens when they get too rotted. No side marker on that one. Well, yeah, there's square side markers. I don't want those. Well, that's what happened when you get 3 feet of snow on a trailer. Anything good in there? There's still the stove. I think some people came and took whatever was decent. Yeah, they have springboks under the seats. That's kind of a neat idea. So you're not sitting on plywood. Square marker, not even original stuff. That too was a completely the roof cave in from the snow. Almost looks like there could be a body in there. Disgusting. I guess no, these are not offset, and they're 14-inch. They might be offset. Well, I know where there's a couple 14-inch tires if I want to. Let's see here. Good old plaid. Ew. Yeah, nothing really salvageable out here. Perhaps except like maybe doorknobs and not even. This is the wrong. This is the wrong era from my camper. All right, let's go back. I just realized my redneck mud flap was touching the ground on that side and it got all chewed up. I think it's hilarious. Not the other side somehow. Oh well. All right, that's a little pause. Let's get back on the road. Check this out. This is a classic black spruce forest. All skinny and scrawny. And a thick bed of moss. It's like walking on a mattress.